Morning, everyone. Oh, it's so lovely to see you all here. The last time we had a summit was in 2019, so this makes me so, so happy. And thank you so much, Carol. Thank you to the entire Girl Up team, because without you, none of this would have been possible. As you said, we've been brought together here today to fill up space, to find new friends, to find new girls on this chapter, and to support us on this journey as we navigate what that looks like as leaders of self. So just a massive thank you. I would love to thank again everyone, our partners at Dentsu, who have helped make this possible. And with that being said, invite Pauline, our wonderful Dentsu ambassador, to speak.
I'm Pauline Miller. I'm a Chief Equity Officer at Dentsu. What that means is that I'm what they call the C-suite. Don't know what that is either. But it does mean that I get to make really cool decisions around what we do in diversity and inclusion across our EMEA region. So that's about 17,000 people across 40 odd markets. But let me tell you about how I got involved with Girl Up. It's his fault. You're going to hear from him later. 10 years ago, I got involved, and 10 years next year, I learned to talk about my story because of Girl Up. And so it helps girls to be leaders, but it also helps women like me. And I went to Ethiopia. So I think there's a great picture. I should move out the way. There you go. That's me in Ethiopia, in Jijiga. We went out to visit some of the refugee camps and meet some of the families, some of the young girls like you who really want to make a difference and needed to hear that education, their Girl Up clubs were really important to helping them to find a place in the world where they didn't have a place to be. Because if you're a refugee in Ethiopia, the chances are that you're going to be living in that camp for many, many, many years. So how did I find my voice in Ethiopia? Quite simply, I sat there thinking, I'm not any good. There's like a movie star here. That was Monique Coleman. There was Rossio, who was a Girl Up leader like you. There were like all of these people from Girl Up and me. And I'm like, I am not good enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have a connection. I don't have anything to give. And then I sat on the floor of a refugee's home, and she told us that she had become a mum. She had 7 children. She just wanted the best for them. 2 of her girls weren't going to school, and she had become a mum. And I calculated, I was like, you know what? I became a mum at 15 as well. And now I have something to offer. I know exactly what you're trying to do for your kids. And I also know to your 15-year-olds how important it is to stay in education as much as they can, to really find something that connects them. And so suddenly I found my voice. And for nearly 10 years, I have continued to use that voice in leadership summits around the world, both Girl Up leadership summits and grown adults, the ones that aren't really sure what they should be doing. And I use that to really help advocate change. And now I get to do it at a company that I work with. So I hope you love the Dentsu building. Look at the various, it's quite funky and quirky. But we're an advertising agency. And what that means is that we have a real responsibility for how we influence people. Think about the last ad you watched, the last ad that created meaning. Who's going to tell me? Anyone? Go on.
See the PSG players playing, but it's actually girls.
There you go. Yeah, really good one. Girls in sport, women in sport. How do we make sure that everyone has the opportunity to see that? I really love the Dove advert, because I'm a larger woman and I like to think that in the ads, they don't all look a certain way. And she's up there and she's dancing and she's spraying her spray. I buy Dove. Okay, I'm not sure I should say that on film, but it's okay. We've got to think about our role in society as advertisers, both in what we put out and also what we do from a carbon emissions perspective and how it impacts the longer term, and whether or not we as an advertising agency and our media chain, our supply chain, is thinking about net zero reductions as well. So our role is really critical, and we use everything from, we have everybody here from user experience designers to creative art designers to influencers, to account managers, to tech people, to diversity people. So we have lots of different people that all have a role to play in advertising. And then the last thing I'll say is that we also have the ability to put a position out. So we also run a influencing agency. And for our influencers, we've been really clear. The use of generated, all of those filters, I don't really get it because I don't do the TikTok and the social stuff. Yeah, you can tell I missed out on that. But it's really important to think about all of those filters that you put on, and it makes you think about, I've got to look a certain way. And so we've said, we're not going to do that anymore. Our influencers are not going to use all of those hyper filters that are putting a message out to young girls. That's one of the things that we can do as an agency. So with that, I'm just going to say, I really hope you have a fantastic day. I really want you to think about setting up a club. I say that because 10 years ago, there were 5 clubs. There are now 62, 64. Gosh, Carol's going to tell me off again. I got the number wrong. 64 clubs. That's a huge growth. And you could make an even more of an impact here in the UK. I'm hoping that you're from all over. Are you all from London? Anyone come further than London? Oh, okay. Tell me where. All of you at the same time.
Milton Keynes, Dominican Republic.
Oh, that is a journey. Okay, you beat it with the North Dominican Republic. Anyone from, and the rest from London? North?
Yeah.
You go, girl. Tell me you support Arsenal. East, West, South. Woo! Yeah, me too. Okay, so the energy is high. We know that we're traveling from all over the UK and the Dominican Republic, which means you could make an impact all over the UK and in the Dominican Republic. So with that, I'm handing back to Muffy. Where are you, Muffy? Hey, girl. Okay, so thank you very much. Have a great day.